If you find yourself struggling to win ranked games, then this is the video for you, as I'm going to be breaking down my gameplay and giving you tips to help you win games as easy as me. And I'm also going to show you some examples of what you shouldn't do. To start it off, we will be talking about drop spot and landing. It is important that you have a drop you're confident landing at. This will help you so you don't dial spawn a lot. As you see, I am uncontested here, so this allows me to fully loot and farm up easily. As we start to approach my first fight, it is important that we have a good loadout to give us the best chances of winning the game. I would suggest using what you see in the gameplay. As you see from the gameplay, I take a lot of damage. It is important that I have these fish so I can quickly heal and re-engage back into the fight. As we break this down, it is important to notice mistakes this player did. As he is running, he is not aware of his surroundings in third party. This allows for me to hit him for 98 damage. After this, I place a high wall to claim peace, and I just edit, place a cone to finish the kill quickly. Let's start with tip 1. In this, I will show you the best way to approach an enemy player's box and what also not to do when pushing a box. As you see, I am playing far back and being cautious and not being reckless. By doing this allows me to keep pressure on my opponent and get close so that I can take the wall and clean up the kill easy, just like this. As I approach this box, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to just jump in and be reckless. This will cause you to be third party, or even worse, get sent to lobby, just like this guy. As we get into this next fight, let's see what you learned. What should I do now that I have damaged my opponent? If you said B or C, then you would be correct. As we watch this next fight, you can see this guy makes the same mistakes as the first person. He is not aware of his surroundings. This allows for me to hit him for a good amount of damage and approach the kill and clean it up easy. This will lead us into tip 2, which is how to use piece control to your advantage by predicting your opponent or by pressuring your opponent. In this example, you see that I forced my opponent to drop down with my piece control. This can give you the advantage and make you end fights quickly. In this example, you will see that my opponent has nowhere to go, so he has no choice to go but to my left, which lets me get an easy kill and wrap up the fight quickly. As I approach my next fight, you will learn why it's important for you to not always run, but to in fact box in multiple boxes in hard match. Because my opponent tried to run, it led to him dying and getting sent back to lobby, when instead he could have just boxing up and tried to pop heals. And this will lead us into tip number 3, how to properly heal. It is important that you know the best strategies to popping kills. In this example, you notice that I am struggling to pop a mini. This results in me dying. But instead of us doing this, what we can do instead is run away, make multiple boxes so that we can have proper time to heal. This will result in us having more health so we can re-engage into the fight and make that counter damage. In this next fight you watch, you will notice how I use some tips used early in the video and the one I recently used to win this fight. And as you're watching the gameplay, notice how that I run away and create separation to get heals off. Exactly what I was talking about in my last tip. Doing this allowed for me to get heals and re-engage back into the fight. As you continue to watch, you start to notice that me and my opponent get third party. So what I do here is take a step back, reload, and start to listen to cues so that I can effectively third party and clean up these fights. As you see there, my opponent made another mistake, which led to me getting the kill. What he did wrong was he didn't make multiple boxes like I told you guys. This allowed for me to get in, 50-50 him, and clean up the fight without taking any access damage. And this will lead us into tip number 4. How to properly defend. Guys, I can't stress this enough. In this season, it is extremely easy to damage your opponent's builds with the shotgun. So my best advice is to use metal or brick when defending yourself from aggressive attackers. In this example, you see that because he used wood, I was able to pressure him and kill him very quickly. And this will lead into my 5th and last tip, exploits. I use exploits to help me quickly end fights. In these examples, you see that I use phase-in tactics to get into my opponent's boxes and end them quickly. If you master this move, it can be very useful for you when you're trying to end fights faster and improve at the game. A lot of pros use this, and by doing so, you could also improve your gameplay to the next level. And this will end the tips and tricks for today. Thank you guys if you made it this far. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I will be responding to all comments. I will leave a map code for you guys to practice everything explained in today's video. The rest of the gameplay is from earlier today. And if there's nothing more, then you guys have a good rest of your day and a good 2025.